Thank you. So, as Dana asked, how will all of this play with voters in South Carolina? Let's talk about that with CNN political commentator Tara Setmayer. I'm also joined by Republican strategist and conservative columnist Kayleigh McEnany. She's also a Trump supporter. Welcome to both of you. So, Kayleigh, I want to start with you. Donald Trump gave an interview to ABC News. He again called Ted Cruz a liar. He said he was in this country illegally and shouldn't run for president. Donald Trump threatened to file a lawsuit against Ted Cruz unless he apologized for his lies. Do you think this is extreme on Donald Trump's part?
No, I don't think it's extreme. You know, Ted Cruz, I enjoy Ted Cruz. I like Ted Cruz. I think he'd be a great nominee as well. Both of them, the Republican Party would honestly be lucky to have either. But here's the thing. Ted Cruz has repeatedly mischaracterized Donald Trump's record. On abortion, he says he wants to not defund Planned Parenthood. That is not true. In fact, Donald Trump called Planned Parenthood an abortion factory. So I hardly think that that's a viable criticism of Donald Trump. Likewise, he's mischaracterized his views on the Second Amendment, said with Donald Trump we would repeal and erase the Second Amendment. That again is not true. Donald Trump is for national concealed carry law, about as far to the side of the Second Amendment as you can get. Ted Cruz has repeatedly mischaracterized Donald Trump's record, and Donald is frustrated. I understand that, and I don't think that this is too harsh.
You know, politicians mischaracterize other politicians' positions all the time. It seems to be the American way, right? But Donald Trump called Ted Cruz unbalanced. What does he mean by unbalanced, Kayleigh?
It means that he is absolutely taking everything Donald Trump says and saying the mirror image opposite. And, you know, that is called a lie. We can call it a mischaracterization. We can call it a lie.
No, I mean the unbalanced part. Is he saying that Ted Cruz is mentally unbalanced? I mean, what does he mean, Kayleigh?
I don't think he means mentally unbalanced. I think he's not balanced because he's taking and distorting the record of Donald Trump. That's not a balanced viewpoint. I don't think he means mentally insane or deranged or anything of that nature. You know, what Donald Trump has shown is if you attack him, he will attack you back. And that's just what he does. It's his character, it's his demeanor, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And in fact, I think it makes us have a very strong Republican field when you have candidates who have to go through the fire like this.
Does it make the Republican field strong?
No doubt about it.
Tara, I want to get Tara in here.
You know, this is very interesting to me. Watching Donald Trump's reaction to adversity is it's interesting because he is so thin-skinned, and the way that he handles anyone going after him, and if, you know, that's what a campaign is about. They pull your record, and then you have to defend it. It's not that, oh, you don't like what someone is saying to you now, so you decide that you're going to throw your money around and sue them like Donald Trump does anytime someone says something unflattering about him that he doesn't like. If you bring up his record, you know, Kayleigh went through this list of all of these things. Well, which Donald Trump was that? Was that the one that, oh, he changed his position on all of those things, since he's been a lifelong Democrat for the most part until about a year ago.
So was Ronald Reagan. So was Ronald Reagan.
No, Ronald Reagan was not a lifelong Democrat. Ronald Reagan was a conservative when he governed in California, and he had a record over years of conservatism where he made that evolution into becoming what he ended up becoming. Donald Trump does not have that record. And to stop, and you know what? Stop comparing Donald Trump to Ronald Reagan. Donald Trump couldn't hold a finger to the class that Ronald Reagan had. What Donald Trump is doing is embarrassing. He's acting like a child, like a rich bully on the playground. And oh my goodness, if you hit back at me, I'm going to sue you. I mean, grow up. For the presidency of the United States that we're running for, and he can't handle a campaign in South Carolina, for goodness sakes. And this is something that's appealing to you, for someone to be president of the United States? Really?
Kayleigh?
It is a fact that Ronald Reagan was pro-choice before he was pro-life. It is a fact that Ronald Reagan, as governor of California, levied the largest tax increase in California history. Those are facts, and he changed and he pivoted. People like Donald Trump because he is a fighter.
He had an intellectual pivot.
Yes, and so did Donald Trump. He had an intellectual pivot. You can tear down Donald Trump, but the fact is Americans like Donald Trump because he is a fighter. Donald Trump is a fighter, and he's speaking to the heart of the American public that is absolutely frustrated with this president.
No, a fighter can take a punch. A fighter can take a punch.
A
fighter doesn't.
I got to end this here.
He's not a fighter. He's a bully.
Thanks to you both for your insight this morning. Tara Setmayer, Kayleigh McEnany. All right, starting tomorrow, it's a unique two-night event on CNN. All 6 Republican presidential